Listen, we are back. Make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New. And honey, I am back in the building. Listen, Happy New Year. How you doing? How your baby daddy doing? How your baby mama doing? How the badass children doing? They driving you crazy, gal? Okay. Are they driving you nuts, gal? Today I wanted to do a part 2 to one of the videos that I made in 2025. And it was about why the ego needs enemies. Okay? And we were talking about Yolanda, and then I kind of branched off, and honey, it seemed like I freestyled the damn video. Okay? Like, don't get me wrong, I was cooking, okay? Look, just let me cook for a minute. Listen. I was cooking in the video, okay? Miss Robinson served a plate. I don't think it was the plate that I was originally trying to serve, honey, okay? I don't think it was the plate that I was originally trying to serve, but I think I served a bit of a remix. But I did not miss in that video, honey. I spoke on several things. I think we now have that video just for the members. Feel free, you guys, to join the membership. That will basically be like extra commentary videos. Strictly for the members. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be just, talking about maybe like reality shows I normally don't cover on the channel. So I'm gonna be binge watching Ready to Love, so that will be coming shortly. So y'all hang on, members. We also have birthday readings. If you are a member and there's a celebrity reading that you want me to do, feel free to email me at brandnews715@gmail.com. So make sure you email me with, different birthday readings you want me to cover. If you are a member, you gotta be a member, okay? So let's get back to our topic, why the ego needs enemies. And this came from Eckhart Tolle. If you have been following me for a while, you know that I love Eckhart Tolle. He's one of my first spiritual teachers that really grounded me in spirituality. I fell in love with his book called A New Earth. Go purchase it if you have not ever read it, okay? But when I read that book, you guys, I wanted to jump up. I wanted to scream hallelujah. It gave me something that church did not give me. I will say that. Probably the particular church, honey, I was at, because they was always talking about how they had to go out of town, look, with the people's money, honey. I said, goddamn, how many trips y'all gonna take with the collection plate? Listen. Oh, that rhymed. But it was true. That's what they was doing at that church. Miss Robinson had to look. Stuff don't look right. I had to get to the bottom of that shit. I had to get away from them. Okay, so I don't have nothing against church, you guys. I used to really love T.D. Jakes and Joyce Meyer. Y'all know I like R.C. Blake. So, there are different preachers that I do enjoy listening to. It's just, that one, honey. I saw what they was about, child. But anyways, we're going to be talking about Yolanda. One of you all just sent me this clip from a show that Yolanda did. And you know what I was really thinking of on this particular clip that you guys sent me? Is those aunts of his, they are going to be his downfall. Well, her downfall. Let's just say that. They are going to be part of Yolanda's downfall. Okay? Because if you know that your nephew is doing wrong, okay? If you know that, Yolanda tries to get close to people for all the wrong reasons. Yolanda is into it with this one and that one in these YouTube streets, right? Yolanda then got into it with Melody. Destiny used to drag Marceau Latifa. Keke, we saw, how she flipped on her. Queen Shiba, right? Drag Queen Shiba. Talked about her like a dog. You know that your nephew has did all of that. Or, look, your niece. Okay? Look, your niece, nephew, niece, listen, okay? If you know that your nephew has did all of that, why do you feel the need to say, and one of the aunts was over there looking like Respucia, honey, okay? How you doing? Looking like Respucia. When Respucia would take her wig off for the day and it had that big ass robe on. That's how she was. That's what the aunt was giving, honey. I said, honey, ain't nothing but a mess. But she says to Yolanda, when people tell lies and plot and scheme against somebody, okay, I guess she was talking about Queen Shiba. They don't know the damage they do to themselves. All of that is going to come back to them. I'm like, how are you giving your nephew advice, or you're saying this about Queen Shiba when your nephew needs to hear that? Because that's what he does. He done lied on Melody, Keke. Okay? He has plotted against Queen Shiba, put her information out there. He takes up for Stormy, okay? Tries to act as if Stormy is a better businesswoman than Melody simply because Stormy was over there at one point sending $4.99, honey. And I ain't talking about $4.99. I'm talking about $499. Listen, who the hell does that randomly to some blogger? And that's probably, to me, maybe you're paying for positive press. That way this person can, speak positively about you all the time. Melody doesn't have to do that, you guys, because she had a huge fan base of people that loved her. Even if you wasn't a Mellow meter, you love Melody. And Melody wasn't sending anybody money. She would have little giveaways, every now and again to the people that purchase beauty products from her. Or, if she was feeling generous that day, she would, set up certain things for her fans, right? That way they can win. It was set up like that, more in a business way. It looked very personal with Yolanda and Stormy linking up in the way in which they did, and in the way in which certain things was set up with them. It was, like I said, and I think you guys had mentioned this too, it looked like Stormy was paying Yolanda to speak, positively about her, because her brand, Canvas Beauty, it's always being dragged because she is behind in orders. She has some, wonderful products, right? I will never take that from Stormy. But I think that the brand have received a lot of negativity over the years. So to me, she was, paying Yolanda to speak kindly about her brand. That's what it looked like. We will say allegedly, right? That's just my opinion. You all may feel, a different type of way. Y'all put that in the comments if you agree with what I'm saying or you see it differently. Why do you think Yolanda and Stormy aligned? What was the reason for that, right? Okay, so I said all of that to say this, right? To go back to the initial question of why the ego needs enemies, why Yolanda needed enemies. Let's go into Eckhart Tolle and his teaching. Okay, so Eckhart Tolle explains that the ego needs enemies because its identity is built on separation and comparison, which is what we saw him do with Melody and Stormy, right? With their businesses, Canvas Beauty and 7th Avenue, right? Okay. Requiring an other to define itself against, making others wrong to feel right. We saw him do that with Keke. Okay, we saw him do that to Queen Shiba. And strengthen its fragile sense of self, okay, often through conflict, judgment, and creating problems to sustain its existence and avoid the emptiness of true presence. Okay, he's still over there. Yolanda is still dragging Melody, calling her fix-a-flat, right? All because she rejected him. So without opposition, the ego's conceptual identity dissolves. So it constantly seeks conflict, whether with people, nations, or even circumstances like the weather, to feel real and to feel important. Okay? So let's go through the key reasons the ego needs enemies. To create separation, the ego's core function is to create a sense of I versus the other, and enemies provide the clearest boundary for this distinction. Another reason why the ego needs enemies is to feel superior. By making others wrong, the ego makes itself right. Okay, which is all that self-righteous talk that aunt was saying to Yolanda, and, you know, acting as if everybody is trying to plot and, you know, plot and scheme against Yolanda, when in fact we've seen Yolanda do those things, you know, and it's just like, what advice do you have for your nephew? Okay, like, you need to be giving him giving him that advice, not saying that somebody's trying to do that to him. And if they are, he created the circumstance, right? Enhancing its precarious sense of self-importance and superiority. To feel alive, conflict and problems become the ego's lifeblood. Without them, it feels weak and meaningless, so it creates drama and suffering to feel significant. Another reason why the ego needs enemies is to avoid the now. Reacting to perceived enemies keeps the mind busy with past grievances or future threats, distracting from the present moment where the ego cannot survive. Then there's the collective identity on a larger scale. Nations or political groups become collective egos, needing enemies to feel unified and strong, which is what I see with Yolanda and them aunts, okay? Which can lead to dehumanization and violence. So yeah, that right there, baby, is why the ego needs enemies, honey. Okay, did Miss Robinson preach a word, honey? I said this should preach a word, honey. Can I get a boom shakalaka? Can we get a boom shakalaka up in here? Okay. yes. Amen. Hallelujah. Okay. But in other news, honey, okay, let's switch lanes, honey. Okay, so we got 50 Cent. He is out here dragging Papoose and Clarissa Shields with this damn video where, you know, he's basically putting out there that Papoose is using Clarissa Shields. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like sis is way more invested in this relationship than he is. And like I told you guys, I think she's very threatened by Remy Ma, right? But I just love what 50 Cent put out. And I told y'all, 50 Cent got my sign, honey. Okay, so you know he don't play. Okay? So let me play that for y'all. It's funny.
Everything I did for you. I did it because I love you. But you felt the same way about me.
Baby, what is wrong with 50 Cent? Somebody get that man phone. Somebody get that man phone. It's just crazy. Ain't nothing but a mess, child. Nothing but a mess. Now, in other news, honey, let's shake a bone and get the hell on. We got Real Housewives of Atlanta news. Well, she ain't on the show no more, but this is Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. People think that Kandi and Todd are getting back together, and I say no, sis. No, no, no. Okay? I say no, don't get back together with that man. After they took a photo, Todd167, he puts a photo on his social media saying, Happy New Year's. Here's my first scheme of 2026. Create and enjoy moments with family, the Tuckers. And Kandi is in the photo, and people are thinking that they got back together. I don't want her to be with Todd anymore. At first, I really liked them together, you guys, but I feel like the damage is definitely like, the marriage is done. Let's just say that. The damage has already been done. The marriage is done. Once you invite all those people in the bedroom, your husband, he's not going to respect you. He's going to cheat because men truly need boundaries, right? Hell, they be cheating when you don't have threesomes. Your nigga over there allegedly cheating and you gave him plenty of threesomes. It's a no. Okay, and I think that Kandi ended up doing those threesomes with him, because I'm telling you, I don't think she probably did all this with her other mates, but I think she did that to make Todd feel equal to her, since he didn't have the money that she had, to make him feel like the big man, right? So, let's see what the people think about all this. So, one person says, this is why I mind my single business. Another person says, glad they're friendly for the kids' sake. But now that she knows what kind of cloth he cut from, just hoping she's dotting those I's and crossing those T's. And if there are plans for reconciliation in the works. I hope not. Okay? I hope not. Oh, somebody posted what Kandi put out last night. Happy New Year's Eve. I'm working on my new normal, trying to be a great co-parent and friend in the midst of divorce. This is not how I expected my year to end in 2025 when I started 2025. As I look forward to rediscovering myself in 2026, I just want to send you love and well wishes and say thanks for being a part of my text family. 2026 is going to be a great year for us all. I can feel it. So she's not saying, okay, that they're back together. She's not, Todd put that photo out there about the Tuckers, right? So, yeah, it seems like he's playing with the fans. Because Todd is so damn manipulative. All them damn daddy daycare videos. Because he want the judge to know, honey, it's him taking them kids back and forth to school. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but he is doing most of the work. Yeah, but my thing is this, right? My thing is this, because Kandi does work a lot, right? But if your ass has been out here cheating, okay, if you've been out here doing Kandi wrong and Kandi has sacrificed her fucking soul to make you happy, I just don't feel like she need to pay you anything. She just need to take care of them children. Because you did do her wrong. Now, she was a damn fool to have all them threesomes with you, but you didn't have to go out here and cheat. Shit, she allowed you to do certain shit in her face. She allowed you to play in her face, and you still doing shit behind her back. I feel like Kandi should have had some type of infidelity clause, and I think all women should get it in their marriages. Like, if your marriage ends because of infidelity, he shouldn't be able to get no money. Like, why are we rewarding bad behavior? But that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Todd always with his kids. Yeah, bitch, they is. Okay, he went half on the baby with Candy. So they his kids. He should be taking them back and forth to school. But he's gonna need money. No. You ain't about to get money, motherfucker, and be spending it on your new bitch while you was out here doing me wrong behind my back. I already let you play in my face, and then you do me wrong behind my back. Look, make that make sense. So no, I don't think he deserved any of her money. Maybe like a piece of property or something, or they dissolved all their businesses, right? I think Old Lady Gang is gone except for one location, Blazing Seafood or whatever the hell it was. That's gone. You know, a lot of their business together. That's another reason why the marriage ended. Because I think Candy, like, tried to do too much with him. I think she should have kept it cute and then on mute. Like, do a few things with him, but she tried to overly do everything to the point, and Tauruses are known for that. Tauruses, don't y'all roll y'all damn eyes, okay? I can feel it, I can see ya. Okay? Tauruses try to work with their mate, party with their mate. They want their mate to be their best friend, to be always around. Like, no, we heard Todd in the clips, like, bitch, I got my own friends. I got my own life. I ain't trying to be up under you. See, the marriage, I'm telling you, I bet it was suffocating Todd. Okay? It was too much. There were no boundaries. That's another reason. There was no, now I'm your husband. It was always, business was always there. Then we got the kids. Then they did too much together. So I think she should have did a few things, but all that steak and seafood, and then, like I said, the threesomes is a big no-no. Don't do that. Just watch porn. There's so much porn out here. Just turn the shit on. He'll feel like he with another woman, okay, if you play your cards the right way. But you don't bring another woman in the marriage and let him think, because this is how niggas think, right? Because I know I heard some content creators say, yeah, but that's not their agreement. You are always making agreements, whether spoken or unspoken, by your actions. So the minute she said it was okay for them to have a threesome together, he thought, yeah, I'm gonna get chicks when she ain't around. She ain't gonna mind. That's how, I'm telling you, that's how the niggas think. They set you up each and every time, even asking for the damn threesome. Okay, they want to see which one of you go compromise your morals, values, and integrity. They niggas be testing, and you always tell them no. So another person says, I love this because people are over here blaming Todd, hating on him and accusing him of things, and yet here are Todd and Candy still getting along and just deciding that they don't want to be lovers anymore. Another person says, I've never been a fan of his just because I didn't like the way he was portrayed on TV, but I have to admit the fool is funny. I don't think it's funny. Don't be trying to make it look like, we get back together, we the Tuckers. Todd is a big attention seeker. I didn't see that in him, you guys, at first. And I'm going to say this about Todd, right? I felt like Todd had the best of intentions more towards the beginning. Now it's like he on some I don't give a fuck. He's a big attention seeker. He wasn't like this at first. He was just very much so basic, and all I need is what I need. And look, Candy came through and spoiled the man. Okay, now he feeling all entitled. Now he want to rewrite the prenup. Okay, he want to rewrite history, child. It's a mess. So, yeah, the people talking about Candy sitting so far away from Todd. I wouldn't be, this is my thing, and I understand they have small children, but I'm not going to be in that many photos. Maybe spend a few holidays together, but don't do this for the kids tour. I'm not interested in it, okay? You guys can still be respectful of the children. You know, if you want to do holidays, I personally wouldn't. They need boundaries. They need a real breakup. They do. Because the more time they probably spend, Candy, you know, she make it weak. Okay, make it lonely at night. Look, Mama Joyce and them aunts, they can't hold her at night the way Todd can. Todd trying to hold something, and he's trying to hold on to that damn money. Okay, so Candy, you get the hell away from Todd. Don't let him for the kids. Let's do it for the kid. That should have had your ass. And honey, you almost got out of here alive, child, with just Riley. Shit, you okay? I know the children are a blessing, honey, but you had it going on. You had Riley. She up and out the house. Now you got these 2 kids, and he go for the kids. Can I get some more money for the kids? Let's take this picture for the kids. Let's do Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the things, honey, for the kids. Okay, and he go stay in your goddamn wallet and in your pocket. You better put some boundaries up. Okay? This is not as cute as everybody think it is. It's good that they have a united front, you guys, for the kids. That's not what I'm talking about. I just wouldn't be doing every holiday and shit with him. Nigga, you cheated on me and lied and... No. No. Vote for self. What did y'all say after... Look, after she talked to Evelyn, and Evelyn was still over there talking to Chad Ochocinco's daughter, she said, vote for yourself. What the hell are you still... talking to his kids for? Well, I'm just trying to, do it, be nice to his daughter and his daughter this and his. She said, vote for you. Shit, this man went upside your head. When you go vote for yourself? I know that's right, Yolanda. Shit. Don't do that for the kids, shit. Because these niggas be back in your drawers. He'd be back in your wallet, baby. And you don't want that, baby. Okay? It's a mess. Oh, next we have Angie Martinez. She talks about she may interview Diddy. When he gets out, she's really thinking about it. Girl, don't waste your time. That man ain't changed. But she can make money. All money ain't good money. That man ain't about shit. Okay, he know he did all that shit to them peoples. And he don't feel bad. He trying to get out of his damn sentence. They ain't even sentenced him long enough. He trying to get out. He ain't learned shit. So don't do it for the culture. And don't waste your damn time. That's what I say, honey. As far as this Tupac stuff that she's going to be releasing where he's talking so bad about people, I don't think she should release that. Why do we need to... Look, Pac told us how he felt on Hit 'Em Up, where he dragged Diddy, Biggie, and Lil' Kim. Okay, he fucked them up with that song. Okay. So, honey, we don't need to hear Pac dragging no more peoples, honey. Okay? So, what y'all think about that? Y'all think she should release her interview with Pac? So, one person says it's too late. It'll be mistaken for AI. Another person says, what's so secretive about it? Another person, it was Bad Boy versus Death Row. Never East versus West Beef. That's kind of true, yeah. Another person says it's crazy. People still trying to get money off of Tupac. Let that man rest in peace. Let the era stay in that era. Another person says, I said it. She been wanting to drop those, but she was just waiting for the person with the biggest bag to offer her. Now that Charlemagne is got $200 million contract. Who is giving Charlemagne? Can you believe that? Charlemagne, of all people, giving him that amount of money. Okay. So, I don't know. Y'all think she should release it? One person says, just release the damn interview. Pac knew what he was doing when he did it. So what? He's been dead 30 years. If people get up in arms about what he said 30 years ago, that's on them. You could just take it for what it is. He was a very passionate but angry young man who felt a way about his experiences, so he spoke on it. So I don't know. I don't need to hear nothing else like negative about Pac. I just don't feel like that helps his legacy. He offered so much positivity to the world. And we got to remember this young man died at 25. Who had their shit together at 25? I know I didn't. Okay, I was a little hood booger in training. But Pac was one of my first spiritual teachers, because I would love when he would get in a zone and talk about the poor, and he was so down to earth and relatable. Unlike some of the other rappers that was in his generation or that came after, Pac really cared for the people. He had that sensitive side to him, right? And I would rather remember him like that. I don't need to hear him dragging the people up and down, honey. I would just listen to hit him up. And he sure did hit all their ass up. I was like, God damn. Look, my feelings is hurt after listening to this shiggity, honey. Okay? What y'all think? Y'all think Angie Martinez, do y'all think she needs to interview Diddy? I say no, that's a waste of time. And do she need to drop these damn Tupac tapes, these interviews, or I think it's one big interview maybe she did with him? Y'all let me know. Why do you wait all the way until now? You know, that's what's kind of suspect, Angie. I like Angie though. I do like her, but it's just kind of weird.